Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghostly. The chat is up and running. How's everyone doing today? Are you okay? I had a busy morning. Ethan, welcome back. How's it going, bro? Nice. Hey, you got to be a good sibling. It's the law. A lot of times these chauffeur services can pay off for you later in life. Hey, work that overtime. Make your money while you can, brother. Anytime I could make extra money, I always did. When I was young, I always had a side gig. Exactly. Hey, she can cook for you. She can clean for you. She can drive you in your later years. Okay. I had a blast. Everything's going good for me. 2026 is shaping up quite nicely, I got to say. I think I'm eating healthier. I feel real positive. I think the channel's going good. I got no complaints at all. My subscribers are still climbing. I did not drink for New Year's. Not a single drop of alcohol. I was going to have a drink Friday night when I was watching Tom Grassi, but he was sick, so he didn't have a Q&A session, so I never had a beer. So I have yet to have any alcohol in 2026. I've been hooked on this show, Dairy Girls. Have you seen that? It's on Netflix right now. It is hilarious. They've got 3 seasons. Oh, if you get a chance, there's this character, Sister Michael. Oh my God. I went to a Catholic school while I was very young in grade school. Stranger Things is a little out there, but I've watched a few. I'm just really stoked on this Dairy Girls. I was up again last night till 1 a.m. watching that. It was cracking me up. I like the pace, and I think it's real well written. Personal opinion, they're not paying me. Okay. I just like it. When I get on something, I'll binge all 3 seasons. Another week I'll have it all seen. That's the way I roll. When I find out there's a couple of seasons of something, I binge it. I'm really looking forward to comedies this year. Anime is okay, but I really prefer, especially young people, young actors and actresses, because I know that in years to come, I'll get to see them in larger and better roles. Like there are some actors in Hollywood right now that I've watched my entire life. It's fun when you see somebody come on for the first couple of shows and you think, oh man, this person's talented. And then 20 years later, you're still watching that same actor or actress. It's cool. All right, brother, be safe and tell your sister I said hi. I love it when family comes together. I had breakfast with family this morning. There was only 6 of us. Yeah, my father's having some health issues. He's 87, so, kind of goes with the territory. But I'm enjoying my time with him. You too. Have an amazing day. Every day should be an amazing day, in my opinion. Every Tuesday, I have a family breakfast. And sometimes we get as many as 11 or 12 in there, but it's generally about 8. Today, it was only 6. But it's still good times. And you get to touch base with everybody and find out what's going on with their kids. And, it just warms my heart. When I was young, I never had the opportunity to do that. I was always too busy. And I lived, the other side of the country. When I was a young man, I had moved to Vegas, and my father was still working in the factories here. He and I didn't have a lot of time. And now that, we're both retired and we both live in the same general area, I get to meet with him 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Just for a couple hours, shoot the breeze, talk to lions, So YouTube tells me I got to tell people to like and subscribe if you could. I do appreciate the viewers, but this is a free show. I'm never going to try to sell you anything here. No midstream ads, no sponsors. And I'm not running for political office or coming out with a line of merch. Okay. This is about meeting people. If you want to be able to chat, you need to get that Discord app from YouTube. It's free. According to my analytics, most people that watch this show are watching on their television. I honestly believe interactive TV is the way we're going. I wish that, back in the day, I would have been able to chat with people on TV. I do it now and I enjoy it. I was just watching, before I started the stream, I was just watching TMZ's live stream and chatting with them. I think it's nice to get to participate in a conversation. Personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat. Change our topic anytime you guys want. But I like it. To me, I think that eventually this is all it's going to be, is interactive TV. I think every show you're going to watch in the future. Well, imagine if you're watching a show that's been taped, like a sitcom. Imagine if you can have a running dialogue with the actors and the actresses during the show. They've already pre-taped it. It's not live, but your interaction with them could be live. I think it's very exciting what it could go to. I enjoy doing this a lot. It reminds me of being a blackjack dealer in Vegas, standing on the table, and as the people walk by, I get to talk to them Some of them sit down and stay and play. Some of them keep walking, you know. This show, I get a lot of people to jump in the chat for 10 or 15 minutes, just like Ethan was just here. He was picking up his sister, sitting in his car. And it's nice to get to touch base. I've been talking to people in 8 different countries. I think that's why it reminds me so much of my time in Vegas. Meeting nice people is always a good thing. All it can do is add to the quality of your life, in my opinion. It's nice. It's very refreshing to me. 33 years I was standing in Vegas, and I was probably meeting a minimum of 100 people a week from every country on the planet. I enjoyed it a lot. I met a lot of really nice people. We all get busy. We all have stuff to do. But I think this 2-hour show, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5, gives you a chance to jump in here and socialize, meet other people, find out what's going on in different parts of the world. I'd like to talk to somebody in Venezuela. I hear there's gunfire in the streets down there. I don't know what our exalted hot dog is doing. I have no idea. I know that, every human life has value, and I don't think that any of us should be running around killing anybody. Personal opinion. I'm planning on doing a short for the channel on that. There's one planet and there's one human race. And we can't afford to damage or destroy either one of them, in my opinion. Yeah, I just broke into my Gatorade here. I need it today. I cut myself short on sleep because last night I was watching Dairy Girls. I'm just hooked on the show. I'm like that. When I find something I like, I binge it. Well, I found out they had 3 seasons, and first thing I did was watch the first couple episodes and figure out who all the characters were. And since then, the show's just had me rolling. It's just so funny. It's kind of hard to keep up with their accents because some of them are thick. I miss a few words here and there. But I get the gist of what they're talking about, and they crack me up. I think it's a real well-written comedy, and it's got a pace to it. You ain't falling asleep when you're watching that. So where are you guys from? What do you got going on? What's on your mind today? Jump in the chat. Fill us in. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you could. It will help the channel. I don't know how, but that's what YouTube tells me, so I believe them. Okay. They sent me a sticker again, told me I'm doing a great job. So I'll just keep on plugging. Okay. I had Crumbleina over here today, and we were talking, and we're going to film some shorts. I'll get them on there. Near as I can figure, that will help grow the channel immensely. A lot of people like to watch the shorts. The issue that I have is that it's got to be filmed in the vertical format. I can film in the vertical format, but I'm not set up to edit in the vertical format. I got to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Of course. I do not pay attention to details at all. That's why I get Crumbelina to help me. She is a very detail-oriented person. If you got something that she's interested in, she'll read your rule book and then beat you half to death with it. Okay. She don't miss a trick. Very sharp. Me, on the other hand, I'm kind of, well, that's close enough, isn't it? Well, we can just round that off. I used to be a detail-oriented person. I'm just not that guy anymore. It's like this show. I'm just winging it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I try. I've been doing good with cleaning up my language. I'm not dropping F-bombs anymore. So, that's a plus. And I think my voice is extra scratchy today for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I've been smoking too much. But yeah, 2026 is shaping up real nice for me. Things are running smooth. I'm real excited. I can't wait for May. That's when my granddaughter will make a decision as to what college she's going to attend. I find that very exciting. I never went to college myself. Well, kind of. When I was a young man, I used to go up to the college to pick up girls. If you want a smart girlfriend, they're in college. That was my assumption back in the day. It didn't pay off. I mean, I'm 68 and single, so that should tell you something. But yeah, I never attended college. Back in the day, I'd get a quart of beer and I'd go up to the student union, look for a date. 20, 21 years old, something like that, I don't hang out at colleges' campuses anymore. I'm too old for that crap. Nowadays, I really don't hang out anywhere. I hang out at home. Well, I'm kind of a couch potato, I just sit on one end of my couch, and that's about all I got left. I'm really looking forward to 2026, though. I think the channel's starting to grow. I mean, I'm 4 months in, I got 43 subscribers. So considering I started with 0, I don't think that's too bad. I'm getting 10 new subscribers a month. And I don't have any shorts out there. The only thing I've posted at all is the live streams themselves. Well, when nobody gets in the chat, I sit here and just talk to the computer. I much prefer it when people are in the chat, but people are busy. I get it. So if you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, golden opportunity. This show. Tell your friends. I don't have an agenda for the show. I don't have a script. It's whatever you guys want to talk about. What's your agenda? Okay. What do you want to discuss? What are your priorities? When no one's in the chat, I normally talk about whatever's on my mind that particular day. Today, I was watching news on Venezuela all morning. I don't know if the CIA is running around their city, Caracas, trying to shoot people or what, but they're saying they got small arms gunfire outside of the palace. So that's what's on my mind. That's what I watched this morning. Whatever you input into your brain is what's going to be tossing around in there, right? Well, that's why I believe in self-censorship. I don't think other people should censor your intake, but I think you should be able to censor your own intake. If the news is too depressing, shut that crap off. Don't intake the information. Personal opinion, I took at least a week off in December where I had no news. I actually learned how to self-censor last February. Tom Grassi taught me that. I don't know if you know who Tom Grassi is. He's got a YouTube channel. And I follow him. I watch him. And last February, after the Super Bowl, he did a week-long live stream. It was 7 days, 24 hours a day. He's still got it posted if you want to look it up. All I did when I turned on my TV, that week that he was live streaming, if I turned my TV, I only turned it on to Tom Grassi. That's the only intake of news I had. And it reinvigorated my belief in mankind. I saw such good people in there. And Tom actually raised $1 million for charity in 7 days. It was impressive to me. I can't scroll by him now. Whenever I see Tom Grassi is on there, I click in. Well, I like the guy. He seems nice. I think there might be some correlation between ex-teachers that are now podcasting on YouTube. Seriously. Well, you got to be able to communicate with people. Most teachers can. I mean, that's been my experience. But I watch a guy, Cross Timbers Bison. His name's Dusty Baker. He's a former teacher. I watch Tom Grassi. He's a former teacher. I'm a former teacher. So, I'm just noticing a trend here. I don't know if YouTube has picked up on that or not, but I think it's real interesting. I think that they should probably research it. But I love YouTube. It's the only thing I really watch anymore. Well, Crumbelina put Tubi on my TV, so I watched a couple of movies this past weekend on Tubi, but I'm right back on YouTube now. I don't know what's going on with Spectrum. Spectrum's having a stroke today. That's my internet provider, and they're not exactly as good as they could be. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go into a Spectrum bashing rant, but I've had a lot of issues since I started podcasting. But I enjoy doing this. And as long as the channel keeps growing, I'll keep doing it. You know, when I decided to do it, I told myself I got to give it a fair shot, you know, and I thought 3 years would be a fair shot, you know. That's what I promised myself, you know. We'll see how it goes. I'm still in year 1 now. Okay. But I'm having a good time. I'm thinking maybe next month I'll show the podcast to my father. I haven't told my friends and family about it yet. I started to, but well, I wanted to see, you know, let YouTube sort the thing out and market me to the people they'll get me in front of the people that I belong in front of. That's my belief anyways. But the shorts will probably help grow the channel, so. But yeah, I didn't want to load the chat up with family and friends. I figure let YouTube's algorithm sort it out first. And then after YouTube's got me in front of the people I need to be in front of, then I'll tell my friends and family. I'm not saying I'm doing things right. Okay. I have no idea. In a lot of ways, I feel like a blind man that just bought a brand new house. I'm kind of feeling my way through, trying not to walk into any walls. It'll all come out in the wash eventually. So what's on your mind? What do you guys want to talk about? Jump in the chat. Tell me what's on your mind. We can discuss anything you want, provided we stay within the community guidelines set up by YouTube. That's the only platform we're on. We don't want to piss them off. Okay. But yeah, YouTube's like the only thing I watch anymore. Well, it is. The others, I can't stand the commercials. They drive me nuts. I don't know why they have so dang many of them. If you watch like a 30-minute sitcom, 8 minutes of that is commercial, minimum. So on a 30-minute program, you're getting 22 minutes. That's why I can't stand the commercials. Sometimes you got 5 minutes worth of show and then 3 minutes worth of commercials. It's ridiculous. When I watch YouTube, I don't have to watch the commercials. So That's why I prefer that. So what do you guys want to discuss today? What do you guys want to talk about? I have no idea why the U.S. is attacking Venezuela. Makes no sense to me at all. Well, I know they kidnapped Maduro and they're going to try him and all this, but the Department of Justice is, they're losing most of their cases now anymore. Prior to this Bondi woman, they had a phenomenal record. They won like 99% of their cases. Since Bondi come in, I don't think they're even winning 50% of their cases. They're losing most of them. They got rid of all the good lawyers. All those good lawyers went into private practice, and now those same lawyers that quit or got fired are turning around and beating their brains out. $270,000 government workers, federal government workers, were terminated by our current administration. That's a lot of people. And if they were all good at what they did, that's going to leave the existing DOJ sucky at best. Myself, I wouldn't want to work for a federal government job. I just wouldn't. You got to pledge allegiance to some exalted hot dog? No, thank you. As far as I'm concerned, the United States is now a banana republic. Okay. It's ridiculous. You watch, this Maduro guy is going to get off. They've charged him with all these drug crimes. He'll get off. He'll walk. Then he'll probably turn around and sue them for $1 billion. Okay. I have no idea why we would want to attack anywhere. Evidently, our exalted hot dog is just another warmonger. He thinks that human life has no value. He has no respect for it. Most normal people don't want to kill other people, okay? I'll say that again. Most normal people don't want to kill other people, okay? I got better things to do with my time. I'll make sure I always have better things to do with my time. But yeah, I'm going to do a short on that. One planet, one human race. We can't afford to damage or destroy either one. That's my opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and express yours. Every single bloodline in the human race is important. Your grandchild could be the one that gets educated and solves the problems of tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow's problems are going to be, but we do know that it's going to take a human to solve that problem. Human beings solve problems. That's what we do. If you see something that's broke, you fix it, don't you? Every single bloodline matters. Every time there's a war and you stomp out all these bloodlines, you kill all these people, that is the human race shooting itself in the foot. Every time a young man goes to war and gets killed, he can no longer father children. You're ending a bloodline. That's not the right way to go. We need every single bloodline, and then we need to educate our children until they turn and educate us. No matter what problem comes up on Earth, our planet, a human being will fix it. They'll solve the problem. The problems don't solve themselves. It takes a human being. Every time we snuff out a human being, humanity suffers for it. That's my opinion. Every bloodline matters. Every human being has value. Maybe I don't have the education to solve the world's problems, but perhaps my granddaughter will. I mean, whatever president that you like, imagine if his grandfather had been killed. And he would have never become the president that you like, because the bloodline was snuffed out. Every bloodline matters. Every child should be educated. That's the smartest thing the human race can do. In my opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree. That's why there's a chat here. That's why it's enabled. Your opinion matters, and I'm willing to let you voice it. I'd like to hear it. One planet, one human race. If you think there's another planet, you're living in a fantasy world. If you think there's another race of humans, you're living in a fantasy world. There is not. There's plenty of subgroups, but there's one human race. We need to protect both the planet and the people. The people solve the problems on the planet. I don't care what task you're trying to do. The more human beings you get helping you, the faster you achieve all your goals. It's a numbers game. Any problem on the planet will be solved by a human being. If it can't be solved by a human being, it's not going to get solved. Well, maybe thus far, the reason we still have problems on this planet is because we keep killing the bloodline that can be educated and eventually solve our problems. We keep, as a human race, shooting ourselves in the foot. It slows our progress. We need to work together, all of us, to solve the problems of the world. We can't seem to solve anything worldwide. The COVID pandemic is still alive. It has not been solved. We lessened it, but we didn't solve it. We didn't even get rid of measles. No. The job we're doing is half-assed, okay? We need more human beings, and we need to educate those human beings. Teach your children until your children teach you. That's how we solve problems. Machines are nice, they're helpful, but they don't solve all our problems. Sometimes they create more. And our weather lightened up. It's probably 35 degrees out there today. Snow's melting, slow but sure. It's kind of rainy and overcast today. I'm in Michigan. Where are you guys? Southwest Michigan. I went out this morning, ran my errands, saw my family, had a good visit. Came back, put the groceries away, got myself a short nap. In my retirement, I'm doing really good in the nap category. Anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. If I sleep more than 2 hours in a nap, I'll be up until all hours of the morning. Hopefully, 2026, this channel will grow immensely. Well, I'm hoping more people like and subscribe every month, but I've been procrastinating making these shorts and stuff like YouTube's telling me to do. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of focus, you know. I'm not as driven as I was when I was young. I think that's the difference. As a young man, I always wanted to improve, always wanted to make more money, always wanted to move up the corporate ladder. In old age, it's not that way anymore. In a lot of instances, I just don't care enough to do anything, you know? Well, my flaws are proof that I'm not AI. I'm a real human being. One guy sitting on his couch, okay? Flaws and all. I smoke cigarettes. I smoke pot. It's legal here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not recommending anyone do anything illegal ever. But in Michigan, marijuana is recreational. Has been for a few years now. It's so popular that they just put a 25% or 24% wholesale tax on marijuana to help fix the streets in Michigan, the roads. Well, I smoke, basically after the show between like 5 and 9:30 p.m. Once in a while, a weekend, I'll wake and bake and stay stoned all day, but very rare. Well, generally, I got some things to do. Okay. But some things, it doesn't matter if you're stoned. You can do dishes when you've been smoking pot. You can do laundry. You can vacuum. Okay. I'm not talking about operating a motor vehicle or any machinery or, household chores. Why not? So, what do you guys want to talk about? What's on your mind? Most of the news I saw this morning was on Venezuela. I did watch a little bit of Mike Kimber and get some Lions update news. I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping outside. They're all kinds of excited today because the weather's warm. There's a bush right outside the window, and the sparrows just congregate in there. About an hour before the podcast, there was a large flock of geese flying over that were honking like crazy. I think some of them are still flying south. It's real. This microphone is real sensitive, picks up every sound. Yeah, the camera, it works good, but the glare in my glasses bugs me. But yeah, it's all right. It's close enough. My eyes ain't that pretty anyways. Okay. Hate to break it to you. Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty, but my eyes aren't that pretty. Okay. Keep it into perspective here. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some shorts done, and Grumbleina's got some other stuff she's helping me with. she's very detail oriented and I'm just not. So it's nice to have friends that can give you a hand with stuff. I don't date her. She's just a friend. So what do you guys want to talk about? Nobody got in and chatted about Venezuela, so I imagine you guys are fed up with that as I am. You want to talk about the Epstein ballroom and how you and I are both never going to get invited there? But all these child molesters that they're protecting, they're all going to be whining and dining on our dime in the Epstein ballroom. 90,000 square foot. They tore down the east wing of the White House to build it. How absurd is that? I know. You listen to these guys and they think, oh, America's wanted this for 150 years. Bullshit. I never wanted a ballroom. Not once in my lifetime have I ever wanted a ballroom in Washington, D.C. To imply that I have wanted that is absurd. Okay. Somebody needs to explain to this guy. Okay. Like the Kennedy Center wasn't enough, you know. Well, the people he's got around him, I'm not sure that they're telling him the truth about anything. They're all a bunch of liars. But anybody that tells Trump bad news gets fired. So I don't believe that any of them are willing to walk in there and tell him the truth. The truth is, we don't need a 90,000 square foot ballroom. We did need the east wing of the White House. It had a significant historical value that Trump's oblivious to. What's he going to tear down next? But, you know, he's lying. He's saying, oh, the economy's great. America's in the golden age. That's absurd. It's not true. But I'm not sure if the people around him are even giving him the real numbers on the economy. Why would they? They're just going to get fired because the numbers ain't good. No, I just think he's living in a bubble. And no bad news can get to him. The only people he listens to are the ones that bribe him and the ones that blackmail him. That's the way it appears to me. That's my opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and express yours. Straighten me out, educate me. I'll welcome your comments. But I honestly, I don't think Trump even hears the truth, ever. It's like, I remember being a young teenager laying on the living room floor watching TV. And my mother would come in the room somewhere behind me and talk to me. And I'd never hear a word she said. All my focus was on the TV. Like a selective hearing loss. And I pretty much think that's where Trump is. He only takes in the information that he wants. And he's got all these people standing around him telling him how great he is and how great he's doing. He's not doing great. He's struggling at best. The tariffs don't work. It's just a tax on us, the consumer. Like we weren't already paying enough in taxes. He's got to tax us even more. And he thinks that's a good idea and we should all be on board with it. I don't think the clowns that are around him are telling him the truth. I think he thinks the tariffs are a success. That's the way it appears. The reality of the situation was we didn't need no stinking tariffs. We didn't need to start a trade war with the world. We didn't need to piss off our allies. We didn't need him to drop to his knees and suck off Putin. It started with the Helsinki hand job. Putin's got dirt on him. That's the way it looks to me. He's being blackmailed by Putin. And he's turned into his little whipping boy. Personal opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree. But I don't see him doing anything against Putin. He doesn't understand the difference between an adversary and an ally. And none of the clowns around him are willing to sit him down and explain it to him. A trade imbalance is not a deficit. You're not losing anything. A trade imbalance is simply an imbalance. If you want to work to lessen that trade imbalance, probably a good thing. But to restrict all trade, it's like putting a governor on your car's engine so that you can't ever go in excess of 50 miles an hour. You can do it, but why the hell would you want to? What do you gain by pissing off our allies? It makes Putin happy, I'm sure. But it lessens our status in the world. These foreign countries, our allied foreign countries, think he is insane. It makes no sense to piss off your allies. It's a dumb thing to do. But I don't think any of the people around Trump are willing to walk up and tell him so. Marco Rubio, you think he's got a spine? Okay. He's a jellyfish if I've ever seen one. A coked up jellyfish, okay? Personal opinion. Not a bone in the man's body. He's a blob. I remember back in 2015, he and Trump were adversaries. He didn't have a pleasant thing to say about Trump at all. And all I see him doing is swallowing. First thing he swallowed was his pride, and he's dropped to his knees in front of the man and continued to swallow ever since. I don't know. Maybe he's got designs and he thinks, oh, I can become the president. Not hardly. Nope. This country would elect Jon Stewart before it would elect Marco Rubio. No, these people that Trump is surrounded with him, they're afraid of him. They're all on their knees and servicing him in any way he wants. If you believe differently, I got a bridge I can sell you. Okay? It's ridiculous. His Treasury Secretary, the guy's a condescending clown. All these elites, all these billionaires and CEOs, they're all in on this. Every one of them. They are the problem. Corporate money, dark money in politics. All of this started with the Supreme Court. They stacked the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has been tainted ever since. Personal opinion. But there's two houses of Congress and a judicial. None of them are speaking truth to power. None of them are standing up or putting a check and a balance on Donald Trump. None of them. That's what the problem is. If the checks and balances were working, Trump wouldn't be running amok. Our next president will be able to do the same thing because we keep electing the same people. The easiest way for us to clean house in Washington, D.C. is stop re-electing anyone. Vote them all out of office. If they're an incumbent, vote them out. A complete change of personnel. That's what we need. Clean house. Get rid of all of them. If they've held political office, then we tell them, bye, see you later. One and done, son. That's what you get, one term. By re-electing these people over and over and over, having the same congressman for 30 years or the same senator for 30 years is not good for America. The smartest thing that we can do as American citizens is put a revolving door on every member of Congress, on every member of the Senate, every position, president included. Next. These people are destroying America. They're just there to enrich themselves and their buddies. They don't care about us. They don't want to solve problems. They want to double their wealth. They're trying to double up, triple up. It's a shame. Last week, I said, I told the NATO countries, get some dirt on them, blackmail them, or bribe them. That's what everyone else is doing. If you want something done with this White House, all you got to do is find their magic number or threaten to go public with all their crimes. And they all have crimes. That's the way it appears to me. If you're sitting in prison, you need to bribe Trump. You can get out. He's bribable. A transactional man that can be bought. It's no different than a hooker walking down the street. It's the exact same thing. They're for sale. You can get anything you want. You got an industry that's got safety regulations that are costing you money. Bribe Trump. Safety regulations are gone instantly. Doesn't matter how many humans you kill. He's on board as long as he's getting paid. Blackmail or bribery. I keep asking, what is the minimum bribe? All Americans need health care. Not just some, all Americans need health care. For their entire lives. That would solve a lot of our problems. If you don't believe me, why don't you Google how many medical bankruptcies are filed each year? People are going broke. They're losing everything they've worked their whole lives for due to illness. Bankruptcies are up. Incomes are down. Prices are up. It's harder to find a job. A job that pays you. You can probably get hired at McDonald's, but you're not going to raise a family working at McDonald's. You're not going to buy a house working at McDonald's. You can't even buy a car working at McDonald's. And it's not a bad place. McDonald's is okay. Most states are paying them people $14, $15 an hour, but it's not enough. You can't buy a $300,000 home and a $100,000 pickup truck if you're working at McDonald's. It's not going to happen. You think it is? Go talk to your banker. He'll straighten you out in a hurry. That kind of shit ain't going to fly. No, the cost of living is sky high in America. And it's not going back. It's not throwing it in reverse. It's going to keep on going up. Healthcare would help all Americans if we all had healthcare. From the point where your mother got pregnant until the point where you're cremated, everything in between, you need healthcare. What's the minimum bribe for all Americans to get healthcare? How much money do we got to give to get healthcare? We can start a GoFundMe today. We can't do the $400 million jet, the high end of the bribery. We can't compete with that. But what's the minimum bribe? Well, a couple of years ago, Rudy Giuliani was trying to peddle pardons for $2 million. $1 million for him and $1 million for Trump. Can we get health care for all Americans for a $2 million bribe? If we can, we need to start that GoFundMe today. It's a transactional presidency, a transactional government. As far as I'm concerned, you can walk into any government agency and just bribe your way out of it. Whatever you're trying to do, just start paying people. They're giving us constructive notice that if you're in a court of law, that's what this is called. You're doing it in front of everyone. You're accepting bribes. You're giving constructive notice. And that constructive notice will hold up in a court of law. If they're doing it, how can they charge you with a crime for participating? They can't. If they're accepting payoffs, if they're accepting bribes, bribe them. I know you have ethics. I know you have morals. You don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But do you want health care? It's the only way we're going to get it. In my opinion, feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. It all started years ago when the Supreme Court passed this Citizens United. The dark money is okay. The greedy businessman loves it. It's a backroom deal. It's criminal, realistically. But they've given us constructive notice. They're showing us that it's okay. So if it's okay to bribe the president of the United States, what's the dollar figure we need to get health care for all Americans? I'm just asking. We're the only country on the planet that does not have health care for all of its citizens. I just want my kids, my grandkids to have health care. It's, I don't know, the state of our union, right? What's your price tag? If you're for sale, what is your price tag? I don't have experience in bribing people. Just like I don't have experience in accepting bribes. I've never done it. But if we got to bribe these guys to get what we need, we shouldn't hesitate. We should do it. What would be the point in delaying it? It would actually be to our advantage to bribe them now, to get health care now for all Americans. They can create a single payer option instantly. That's all it would take to control all medical costs. Then the hospital, the privately owned hospital for profit, would not be able to say, oh, it costs you $8,000 a day to stay in our hospital. You want two aspirin? We're going to sell them to you for $250 a piece. With a single payer option, we would tell them no. With a single payer option for health care, we get to dictate the terms. Open your books, prove to us that you need $8,000 a day from every American. They don't. It's what the medical industry is doing is financial rape. For-profit healthcare does not work. The people that are in charge of our for-profit healthcare are both immoral and unethical. That's why it costs you $1,000 to get an EpiPen. You know, something that can save your life shouldn't cost $1,000. I saw just a couple of years ago that they came up with a cure for hemophilia, where your blood won't clot. They came up with a cure, and they put a price tag on it, and they're selling the cure for the last price I heard, $3.5 million. but it's a cure. That's very, very immoral, very, very unethical. They're researching this on the government dime anyways. They're not forking out the bucks to research these drugs. We are. We are subsidizing everything they do, and they are maximizing their profits at every turn. Yes, your doctor can go to the Bahamas and go marlin fishing. But when you need your insulin, it's going to cost you. When you need your blood thinners, your Eliquis, that's going to cost you. It's unethical. It's immoral. For-profit healthcare is financial rape, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Maybe you're a doctor and you like going to the Bahamas. Disagree all you like, but I'm telling you, it shouldn't be that way. It is morally and ethically wrong. For-profit healthcare is ridiculous. All Americans need healthcare. Until they solve that problem, it is what it is. Now, see, I started on Venezuela and I got all the way to healthcare in America. Who knows where my mind's going to wander next? You guys should jump in the chat and control the conversation. Please. I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole. But I'm not trying to live stream dead air. Okay? Feel free to participate. It's a free show. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No midstream ads, no sponsors, no commercials of any kind. There's no upsell. I'm not running for political office. I'm not trying to become an online influencer. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. Okay. I'm here so that I can meet and talk to people. Period. That's what I get out of this. No money. It actually costs me. I have to pay YouTube. Okay? I do need to ask people to like and subscribe. That will help YouTube with the algorithm sort this show out and get us in front of the people that we need to be in front of. But I'm not requiring anyone to do anything. I'm not trying to control and manipulate people. This show does not have a script. It does not have a plan. Okay? I'm turning the script, the plan, over to you guys in the chat. You determine what we talk about. I'm just a host, a little bit of eye candy, a placeholder, if you will. The guest stars of the show are the people in the chat. I believe that everyone has a right to be heard. I believe that interactive TV is where we're headed. So I've created this show. If you've ever wanted to have a conversation with your TV, I'm right here. Okay. It's free. You guys control the show, not me. When no one jumps in the chat, then we're stuck with my imagination and whatever's on my mind. That's how we got into healthcare for America. That's how we started with Venezuela today. I had seen that on the news. It was on my mind. The news I heard on Venezuela last night before I went to bed and this morning, there was small arms fire outside of the palace in Caracas. I don't know. Is that the American CIA running around having gunfights? I don't know. What's your opinion? What do you think it is? I don't think that they're trying to overthrow the regime that's in power, but maybe they are. Beats me. But whatever you guys want to discuss is fine. You want to talk about, I don't know, casserole recipes? Okay. Whatever trips your trigger just tickles me plumb to death. I don't mind. This show, I'm not putting my thumb on the scale saying, oh, we have to talk about this or we must talk about that. No thanks. You can get that somewhere else on the internet, okay? You don't need it from me. I'm just going to sit here and stay out of trouble. I'm getting good at it. We have freedom of speech here in the United States. So as long as I stay within the community guidelines of YouTube, I'm golden. Some of our viewers in foreign countries, you got to watch what you say because your government's watching what you say. Don't get yourself in no trouble on my account. That's what I used to tell my kids. Don't get me in any trouble. I get into enough on my own. Yeah, the kids did not like that. They didn't want to hear it. My youngest, I remember him being 5 years old, and I told him, you're in charge. He was like, I don't want to be in charge. Too bad. You know, I'm not going to do it. I highly recommend kids. I do. The birth rate all over the globe is down. Somebody needs to start highly recommending having kids. If there's no younger generations coming up, guess what? The whole system is going to fall apart. We need kids, and we need to educate those kids. Educate your children until your children educate you. That's my belief. I got 2 sons and 1 granddaughter. I'm proud of all of them. I got lots of nephews and nieces. My brothers and sisters all had kids, you know. I consider myself to be nephew rich. I got very talented nephews that can do everything. They can weld, they can drywall, they can fix cars, they can do landscaping. They're very talented. I've never been good with my hands. I could deal blackjack, don't get me wrong. I could do that, but I'm not like mechanically inclined. I can't fix shit, but I can write a check. I've never been, my brother, a woodworker, he can build you anything, I swear. Extremely talented, gifted, I would say. But not me. I've never been artistic. I've never been good with tools. I don't even own any tools. That's how good I am with them. I live in an apartment complex, and both the maintenance guys are my best friends. They can fix anything I can break, and I appreciate them for it. I've never had, I tried when I was young, you know, I tried working on my own cars and stuff like that. I broke them. I messed things up worse, created more problems than I solved. So eventually I learned I don't need a socket set. If I take something apart, I'll be lucky to get it back together again. And I'm not sure it's going to work. Now, when it comes to table games, craps, blackjack, roulette, I was one of the best in the business, top of my field. But when it comes to tools and mechanical things and saws and power tools, not me. Yeah. My brother worked in the carpenters union. Phenomenal at all that stuff. He can, or what it is. Not me. I've never been able to do that kind of stuff. I wised up when I was, I don't know, somewhere in my 30s. And it's okay, I'll go find somebody and I'll pay him. Landscaping, that kind of stuff, I was never good at it. I was probably lucky I never cut my foot off with the lawnmower. I don't think either one of my sons works on things with tools either. Well, in my defense, they are kind of high maintenance boys. You know, I spoiled them a little bit, as much as I could. Well, that's what parents do, right? Whenever you get the opportunity to spoil your kids, you do it. Yeah, here in Southwest Michigan, the sun never came out today. Gray skies, rainy. You know, that light mist rain, all it does is mess up your glasses. I went out to breakfast, went to 2 grocery stores and a bank. So, what do you guys want to talk about? If you're having trouble chatting, it's my understanding that most people watch a show on TV, but they got to use another device to chat, their phone, a tablet, or a computer. You need the Discord app from YouTube, and then you can jump into chat. I'm told that the newer TVs have the ability to chat built into the remote, but I haven't seen it. So, and I'm not recommending anyone to run out and buy a brand new TV. I'm not trying to chase you down and tackle your wallet, and I'm not trying to get you to buy products, any of that stuff. Afternoon chat is Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The people in the chat determine what we talk about. They're in charge. They're in control. I'm just sitting here trying to have an innocent conversation. I honestly believe in interactive TV, though. I enjoy it. I was on TMZ Live this morning before the stream here, and I was chatting with them. I don't know. I fired 3, 4 chats off to them. But I honestly think that eventually this is what TV is going to be. Interactive. I don't think they're going to let you write the jokes in the sitcom, but who knows? Okay. If they're going to tape something and then put it on, I think that they should live stream at the same time and allow people to interact with the stars of the show. The interactive TV, I think it's just getting warmed up. We don't know where this is going to go. Technology is moving in leaps and bounds still. I remember buying a stereo in the 70s, and every 18 months, something better came out. And I think it's that way with all of our technology now. You got about an 18-month lifespan on it, and then something better has been invented. Something better is in the next model. I think that's why they're on iPhone 16 or whatever, 15. I'm not an iPhone guy, so I don't pay attention to that stuff. I leave my phone on my dining room table. It sits there. I have no desire to take it with me. I'm old enough that the phone used to be hooked on the wall. Okay. And then I had answering machines. And now I have a cell phone, but I let it sit on the table and I check my voicemail when I come in, but I don't carry it with me. I have no need to. We were at breakfast this morning. There was 6 of us at the table. 2 out of the 6 had their phones out and they were scrolling away. Facebook. Well, older generation. I'm sure if there had been younger people there, they would have been on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. We didn't have any young ones today. I was literally the youngest one there. I can't say that too often. I'm 68, so take that for what it's worth. Gatorade. I drink one every afternoon. My doctor told me I needed electrolytes. Okay, when you get older, you listen, I guess, to the doctor a little more. When I was young, I never went, so, unless I had to. I think that's the way most guys are, right? You got to be pretty much on death's door before you go to the doctor. Yeah, so we get about 17 minutes of show left, so I'll talk to you guys about, well, accepting your fellow man, being tolerant. It's my contention that if you open the front door where you live, you look outside, everything that you can see that's man-made, that's built, the road, the cars, the buildings, the skyline, all of it, that's your bona fide proof. That's your evidence that the human beings before you put aside their differences and worked together and built something. I turn on TV nowadays and I see a lot of dissension. I see a lot of conflict. It's my contention that you're better off to unify, to join together with your fellow man. Put your differences aside and work together. That's why we have cities. Every city, every town, the people that are there collaborate. They work together. And they build things, great things, bigger and better things. That's what human beings do. You're already relying on one another and you don't even realize it. Walk over and hit your light switch and boom, your lights come on. Why? Because everybody does their job every day. Not just in this country, all the way around the world. People are reliable. We all get up and go to work every day. And we're dependable about it. You can rely on us. When I walk over to my kitchen sink, I can turn on the faucet, water comes out. The people at the water company went to work today. They did their job. When I went out, the people at the restaurant all went to work. They did their job. The restaurant was open. Everything that you're trying to do is relying on other human beings that have gone to work every day. If the guy that made the salt shaker didn't go to work, I wouldn't have a salt shaker on my table. If the guy that got the salt didn't do his job, there wouldn't be salt in that shaker. I don't know their names, but I rely on them. I depend on them every day. The grocery store, it was open. The shelves were stocked. I bought my groceries. I came home. I didn't think about it. Those grocers I depended on. If there was no grocery store, I'd have to do what? I'd have to hunt or fish. You're already relying on one another. You just don't know your neighbor's name. We're all on the same team. Whether you think about it that way or not, we are. We're all dependable. If you don't go to work, I don't care what country you live in, if you don't go to work, you don't survive. No one would. We all go to work every day. We all do our jobs every day to the best of our ability. That's what human beings do. That's how this whole world works. You can rely on the farmer in Turkey to go plant his tangerines so that you can go to the grocery store and buy a bag of tangerines. I don't know that farmer's name, but I'm depending on him and I appreciate him. Move out of the city, move out into the wilderness where you don't have electricity, you don't have water, you don't have a grocery store, and your life gets hard real quick. Everything becomes a major chore. By living in cities, the human beings before us collaborated. They built things that we take advantage of, but don't stop to think about. Everything worked, from the traffic signals to the car. It all works every day. You can rely on it. You can depend on it. It's going to be there. And that's your proof that your fellow human being is doing his job. Bless him for doing it. That's your bona fide proof. It's right. I know there are people on TV that are telling you, divvy yourself up into subgroups and let me play this subgroup against that subgroup. Those guys hate you. No, they don't. It's just like you're not thinking of the guy at the power company before you turn the light switch on, but he did his job. You're depending on him every time you hit that light switch. You're relying on your neighbors that you don't know. When human beings work together, they succeed. They build bigger and better things, and they build them faster. I don't care what task you're trying to do. I don't care if you're trying to put a fence around your yard or build a house or whatever your task is. By tolerating other humans and getting them to help you, it lightens your workload and it speeds up the completion of your task. If you're trying to do something and you're failing, you're not succeeding, you need more human beings to help you. If you get more human beings to help you, what do you have to be? You have to be tolerant of them. I like gray and black t-shirts. You like white t-shirts. I can't stand white t-shirts. But if I want you on my team, I've got to get past that. I've got to get past my dislike of white t-shirts to get human beings wearing white t-shirts to help me with whatever task I'm trying to complete. It's basic. That neighbor you don't know is your best friend you have not met yet. He's just like you. I don't care if he's a different religion. I don't care if he's a different race. I don't care if he speaks a different language. He's just like you. People on TV, politicians, newscasters, these people, they're trying to divvy people up into subgroups. I'm going to create the Republicans. I'm going to create the Democrats. And I'm going to play them against each other. I'm going to use their fears to help me control them and manipulate them. It's all bull. It's all bunk. The people that are telling you that they're your enemy, they're not your friends. They're not the good guys. I know I'm the only one on TV that's telling you that your neighbor is your friend that you haven't met. I watch TV too. And I'm telling you, your fellow human being, you need to tolerate him. I know he's wearing a white t-shirt. Get past it. If you can get past it, he can help you. He can be on your team. If you're not achieving your goals as fastly as you would like, as quickly as you would like, you need more human beings. The more people you get, the lighter your workload. You want to build a house by yourself? You can. But good luck getting a 300-pound truss up on the roof, nailed into place. All on your own? Yeah, careful you don't fall off that ladder, son. But if you get 200 people to help you, that house that might have taken you 5 years to build by yourself can be done in a month, maybe a week, if you got enough people on your team. Human beings, people. Doesn't matter what color they are. Doesn't matter what religion they are. Get past it. Get over it. Grow up. When human beings work together, they accomplish great things. Proven fact. You want to keep letting these people divvy you up into subgroups. Oh, they're not good enough. That guy's wearing a dress. So what? Get past it. Grow up. Afternoon Chat is the name of the show. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Care to weigh in? You jump in the chat. Speak your mind. I'll listen. That's why I'm here. It's free. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm not trying to control and manipulate you, but I'm telling you, tolerance for your fellow man is the answer to all your problems. Every one of them. Tolerance of your fellow man. Go along and get along. All human beings are basically the same. At the same time, we are all unique individuals. You cannot pick and choose for other humans. You can only pick and choose your path. And I'm telling you, if you want to ease your path, if you want to guarantee your success, you need to tolerate your fellow man. That's the key to your success. I don't care what your task is. Your fellow human being is your best friend, whether you realize it or not. You already depend on him. You just don't know his name yet. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. Come and join me tomorrow, 3 p.m. I'll be here. I'm reliable. I'm dependable. I'm going to be here. The show's going to be here. And you are going to be welcome. Your opinion will be heard if you choose to share it. All that said, it's my philosophy. Be nice to everyone all of the time. You're going to like the end result. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.